I actually have a lot more Vinegar Syndrome titles than I thought. I forget, like, when you buy physical media for 11 or 12 years straight, you just get stuff, and then you forget you get stuff. But I am going to show you guys the Vinegar Syndrome collection, and kind of let you know which titles that not only have I seen from mine, because I think I've seen the majority of them, but also like which ones I'd actually legitimately recommend. So let's start right here. This is kind of a weird one, because I don't have the rights. I don't think anybody has the rights to release this, but this is called Psycho Cop Returns, aka Psycho Cop 2. And it's sleazy, it's fun. I really liked it. And I did some reading. I read about the first Psycho Cop. And this is when, like, Vinegar Syndrome was doing DVDs with their Blu-rays. Maybe they still do, I don't know. But it does come with a DVD of Psycho Cop. But it's a 2K scan Blu-ray from the original camera negative. And I like this movie a lot. It's really fun. And this was 1992. Hopefully we'll get Psycho Cop, because I want to see it. But I will say, like, Psycho Cop 2 is really fun. So, yeah. And I don't think anything from here should be out of print. Does Vinegar Syndrome even get out of print stuff? Next up is Berserker. I actually don't really love this one. You know, there's like the killer bear and stuff. It's not bad. It's just a little slow, but it does have a good vibe. I would say don't rush to grab it, but, you know, if it's part of your Vinegar Syndrome list that you have and, you know, just when you want to get, go for it. Newly scanned and restored in 2K from its 16mm negative. Not surprising. That's usually how Vinegar Syndrome does. They are, like I said, I don't even have the biggest collection in the world, but there's no denying that they're, like, to me, they're just the best physical media company. They do everything so well. This movie's hysterical, and I loved it. Don't Panic. Don't Panic was super fun and funny, and like this adult guy wearing these like kid pajamas. I think they even sold the pajamas on the website. You could get these pajamas on the website. Again, 4K scan from its 35mm negative. Directed by Ruben Galindo Jr. It's like a Mexican horror, Nightmare on Elm Street type film, and it was funny. I really enjoyed it. So, it's one of those good bad flicks from Vinegar Syndrome, 1987. So, I need to rewatch that again. The Uninvited. I got this strictly for the cover art. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Oddly enough, that the movie was good. Another 1987 flick. This is weird, 80s weird, crazy stuff for sure. But I do love this movie, and yeah. I want to watch this again so bad. 4K scan from the camera negative. If Vinegar Syndrome can't do a 4K scan or at least a 2K scan, they ain't doing it. But yeah, The Uninvited is nuts. Let's see what the reverse artwork is. Yeah. Again, DVD and Blu-ray. One of my favorite artworks of all time, Mausoleum. I love this movie. This is from 1982. A consummate blending of early 80s supernatural horror and slasher film tropes. Mausoleum is a stylish, sleazy, and outrageously gory production. And yes, it is. But I love this film so much. Put this at the top of your list so far in this Vinegar Syndrome collection video. And if you don't own this, grab it. I have a poster print of this movie, and it's stunning. Like, the artwork for this is stunning. I love it. So, yeah, Mausoleum is one of my favorites. I got this from Orbit DVD when it was sold out on Amazon. Orbit came in clutch, and I got it literally in 2 days. They processed and packaged my order within like an hour. I'll never forget that. Next up, we've got the 4K UHD of TRex. This movie's hysterical, and you got Alfonso Ribeiro in here playing like the Will Smith Fresh Prince character. Maybe he was getting to live out some fantasies that he felt doing Fresh Prince. But this was really good. Clint Howard's in this. It's a movie about ticks, and it's really funny. It's very 90s. It's very funny. They had a really nice slipcover you could have got with this. But I just didn't grab that. I just I like that Vinegar Syndrome lets me save $4 or $5 and not get the slip, and I didn't. So yeah, this was a big deal when it came out because Olive Films had the Blu-ray of this, and it was very, very expensive because it went out of print. I talked about this on the Charlie Band physical media video I did. Spellcaster, really sleazy, fun, awesome Charlie Band film. Empire. Grab this. I don't know if you can still get it with this nice hard box. And then the movie slides in from the bottom, which is just such a nice touch. And it's like bulletproof. Like, this thing is bulletproof. Like, I could just, like, put this on my chest and take a shot, you know. I love this movie, though. Very sleazy, very fun. Spellcaster. I was super excited when Vinegar Syndrome put this out, being a big Charlie Band fan. So, yeah, I'm glad that they gave it a really nice release, too. Coming up next, we've got the Beastmaster. This is like a really nice release. You've got this thing pops open. You pull the tab out. You get the 4K right here. Beastmaster's a really fun movie. I like it a lot. Look at this. Like, this is incredible. This is all in this hard box with a magnet in it that snaps it together. There's the back. Don Coscarelli's Beastmaster. Great movie. Great movie. This nice booklet. I don't know if you can still get this release, but if you can, go for it. I mean, it's one of the nicest releases they've done. I kind of wish they would have done this for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but they didn't. You know, it is what it is. I'm not complaining. This is one of my favorite releases they ever did. I love Scanners. I love Scanners 1, 2, and I really like Scanners 3. If you haven't seen it, check that out. But this is called the Scanner Cop movies, and they're really fun 90s films in the Scanner world. So they're kind of like offshoot sequels, and like I said, bulletproof. But I love these movies so much. Scanner Cop 2 was even better than 1. But, yeah. All these really nice slipcovers, and these are 4Ks, and they looked incredible. The opening to Scanner Cop was painful to watch. I don't want to spoil it because I have a feeling a lot of people may not have seen this. But Scanner Cop 1 and 2, and 2 I think was even better. And they looked gorgeous, incredible 4Ks. So I highly, highly, highly recommend grabbing this set if you can still get it. The Scanner Cop 1 and 2 box set, just remarkable. Probably might be my favorite release they've ever done. Of course, we've got the amazing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. This was like my favorite release last year. Look at this. You get this artwork on the front, and then, are you kidding me? I just can't believe that they got this. They deserved it too. And there's a whole second disc with nothing but new special features on here. I did a review on this if you want the full details. If you don't own this, God forbid. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I love the fact that they gave us the original art that eventually Toby axed to go with the Breakfast Club art. But they did a great job in the art. And I like that they do little funky colors. They got yellow and this teal for the logo. I like stuff like that. And I think they did a great job on the art. I actually really like it. You know. Next up, a little slasher called Rush Week. And I liked this movie. It was almost like, it had almost like the Simpsons aesthetic to it. It's not a cartoon, but I can't describe it unless you see it. But it was very fun. And then you have the babe from Halloween 4, not the Rachel, but the girl with the big knockers. You get to see her knockers in this. Melanie Kinnaman, is that her name? Maybe I'm wrong, but this was a fun slasher film. Predictable, but who cares? You know what I mean? Like, oh wow, I figured out who the slasher is in the slasher movie from the 80s that cost $300 grand. But I like these slipcovers on these. Really nice. Hobgoblin's biggest piece of shit movie I've ever seen in my life. I hate it. Next up, we've got Madman. I love this film. I kind of want to get the 4K, but the thing is, some of the shots are out of focus. You know what I mean? So I never did get the 4K, and I've always been like, you know what, this Blu-ray's fine. You get the DVD and Blu-ray in here, and it's actually pretty cool reverse artwork on that. But I don't know. I think I'm happy with my Blu-ray for Madman. I've just never upgraded, so. Unmasked Part 25. This is like a really kind of like quirky pseudo-documentary style movie, if memory serves. A British horror comedy. Cleverly plays off of every 80s horror cliche while reveling in some of the most gruesome gore effects which can be found in post-Nasty's British-made film. So, I need to rewatch it again, but I remember liking it. I remember like being excited for the artwork. I was like, Unmasked Part 25, is this like some kind of weird like Jason Voorhees spin-off thing? And they're certainly poking fun at Friday the 13th, but yeah, this was like that title that when it came out, everybody just got it. So I was like, well, I can't be the only one that doesn't get it. But I remember there were some funny moments in this. It's a comedy. It's not scary at all. Just FYI. Demon Wind. Demon Wind is another classic. This is 1984. I don't know why I thought this was 1990. It feels 1990 to me for some reason, not 1984. But I saw this on Joe Bob's Last Drive-In, and I loved it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get the Vinegar Syndrome release for this. It's really good. It's like an Evil Dead-esque type movie. And it's like one of those... This is like a safe title to grab from Vinegar Syndrome if you're worried about quality of the film. It's a good one. Next up, Brad Pitt in Cutting Class. I'm actually not a big fan of this movie. I know, probably crazy. It's not bad. It's just I'm just not really a big fan of this movie. I've watched it once or twice, at least once, obviously, but I just thought it was okay. Next up, this is probably my favorite title of all time from the label Spookies. This is the most incredible, fun monster/haunted house movie you'll ever see. There are muckmen, there are water gremlin lookalikes, there is funny acting, there is the Grim Reaper, there is a giant spider monster. Everything you could possibly think of is in this movie, and the soundtrack is actually incredible. Like, it's actually incredible. It's the perfect Halloween soundtrack. Spookies is one of my all-time favorite little bad good movies. If you don't own this, put this at the absolute top of the list. Absolute top of the list. I love this, and if it gets a 4K, you bet your ass I'm upgrading it. I love this movie, and I watch it religiously. Religiously watch it. I love Spookies. Hell Comes to Frogtown. I think they just repurposed this with a new slipcover. I don't think this movie's good. I really don't. It's kind of funny, and there's some fun moments in it, but it's nowhere near the level of They Live. Not that I don't think anybody would say otherwise. It's not unwatchable by anything, but it's just, I really was like, kind of let down seeing it, you know. When you go from They Live to this, and you watch They Live 1,000 times, and you finally get to Hell Comes to Frogtown, it's just not going to live up. But Roddy's still funny in it. There's some funny moments. This is cool. I got this. This was the Slaughterhouse Rock and Hard Rock Zombies double feature. Now, Hard Rock Zombies is a pile of crap, but Slaughterhouse Rock I really like. I grabbed an 88 Films Blu-ray of it a while back, but when they put this out and they did a what kind of scan did they do? Let's see. Additional 4K scan. All right, I was like, I knew I wasn't just gonna get it just for the hell of it, but because they did a new scan, I was like, I'm in. And of course, you can flip the art. You can have Hard Rock Zombies on the case or Slaughterhouse, and obviously I put the Slaughterhouse on there because that's the one I like. So I kind of just package it like this, and just look at it like this. Slaughterhouse Rock has a pretty good little soundtrack. Same with Hard Rock Zombies, honestly. Hard Rock Zombies just looks incredibly cheap. But this is a fun little movie about Alcatraz. So, check that out if you haven't seen it. Next up, we've got Amityville 1992. It's About Time. Probably one of the best Amityville movies, if you ask me, in terms of just enjoyment. It really past Part 3, talking about the post-Big 3 Amityville movies. Amityville 1, Amityville 2 Possession, Amityville 3. Once you get to all these, this is a fun one. Dick Miller. I was like, is Harvey Keitel in this? It's Dick Miller that's in this. Really fun movie. Sometimes I say these are my favorite era of the Amityville movies. Just depends on what day you find me. Coming up next, we've got The Lamp. This is also known as The Outing, which was a fun little movie. Pinned with an assortment of gruesome deaths and a very dark sense of humor, The Lamp is a wild Texas lens to mid-'80s supernatural horror gem, starring Deborah Winters, James Hudson, and featuring the voice of cult actor Jackson Bostwick as the voice of the murderous genie. Yeah, so I think you can actually reverse this. You can. Look, you can actually reverse it and have the outing on there, which is good artwork. I actually like that. It reminds me of it looks like some sort of Maniac Mansion type art. But I like the lamp art, and I just kept it like that. But it's a really fun movie. I like it. Because I had a Scream Factory version of this that was a double feature that was the outing, but this was a 2K scan, so I upgraded. Next up, we've got Pledge Night. This isn't actually, I don't find this to be a very great movie, but I believe this was the one that had Anthrax music on it, which is why I got it. There are some gruesome moments in here that are not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad, you know, it's just not my favorite title. But, like I said, there's some Anthrax music in here, and I'm a diehard Anthrax fan, so I did get that for that reason. There's the reverse artwork for Pledge Night. So, this title's been out for a while, so I'm assuming a lot of you watching this may already own this. But if not, you know, see if you can see it before buying it. Get Shudder. Next up, a dreaded blue case. Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray. It is what it is. My favorite Amityville Dollhouse. This is my favorite of the 90s Amityville movies. I love Dollhouse. This movie is so freaking good. And it has some disturbing zombie images in here. That guy creeps me out. This movie's actually just... I really like it. I love Amityville Dollhouse. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Put that at the top of your list. Like I said, I actually had more Vinegar Syndrome than I thought. Ice Cream Man, this was a really big deal when it was announced. And I know everybody was bummed out because they wanted the theatrical... Or not the theatrical, but they wanted the VHS artwork, which is way better than this. And this is one of the only times I've ever seen Vinegar Syndrome not be able to do it. And nobody knew why, and it just sucks. But this is a great Blu-ray. And as a matter of fact, they actually give you the Joe Bob Briggs stuff from the actual Monster Vision show back in the day. So that's really cool. We got a little slasher called Slaughterhouse right here. This is actually pretty good. Modest. This might have been shot on 16, to be honest with you. No, it's 35. And it's a 2K scan from the Inner Positive, so it looked good. It wasn't the most impressive thing you'll ever see in your life, but it wasn't bad. There were some good moments in this, but I think it was a little bit of a slog, if memory serves, actually. So I'd give this one like a B-, this movie, for what it is. Next up, a great movie, Christmas Evil. This movie is fantastic. I love Christmas Evil. I watch this every year. No, I don't. I watch it like every other year. Otherwise, even once a year, you'll get burnt out on these things. So I'm actually due. This will be my year. This will be my year for Christmas Evil. So I'm excited about that. What's the reverse art on this? There is no reverse art. Wow, that's a first. But yeah, if they ever get the negative and... No, they got a 4K restoration. I probably won't upgrade this then, because I remember it looking really good. The Suckling. This is the movie about the aborted child that lives in the sewers and turns into the suckling monster. This movie is actually hysterical. It's hysterical, and you need to own it. I hate it, but I love it, if that makes any sense. The Caller. I got this movie straight off of the title, not the title, but the people on the front, Malcolm McDowell and Madeline Smith. Madeline Smith was from a movie called Funny Farm that I really loved. And Malcolm McDowell, I mean, what else do I need to say? 2K scan from the 35mm. I like this movie a lot. It was really bizarre, though. Like, it wasn't what I was expecting, but it was very uneasy, or, like, uncomfortable. So, I do like this movie a lot. The Caller. Next up, we have Tammy and the TRex. This movie has a 4K. I have the Blu-ray, and I'm happy with it. Denise Richards and Paul Walker. This movie is insane. It really is like a horror movie, but like it came out like a comedy movie. And it's really called Tanny and the T-Rex. They changed it to Tammy. So they found all the footage and turned it back into a horror film. 1993. This movie's incredible. I love it. And this is why Vinegar Syndrome is amazing, doing stuff like this. And it's so, the plot is ridiculous. Dude turns into a dinosaur, you know. This was a giant deal. Fade to Black. This is a really good film. Like a genuine, legitimately good film. Produced by Erwin Yablans. And it's like about a horror fan losing his mind. A movie fan losing his mind and becoming this killer. And it stars Eddie Spaghetti from It. You know what I mean? And he's great. So Fade to Black is a legitimate, like, A+ movie. So it was actually shocking that they got this. So it was a perfect storm, because what happened was, In Search of Darkness 1 came out, and this got mentioned, and so a lot of people became aware of it. Me, admittedly, never heard of it. And then all of a sudden, Shudder's like, hey, guess what? We've got Fade to Black. And then right after that, Vinegar Syndrome says, hey, guess what? We're putting it out. I was so excited when this came out. This is one of the best films that they have on their catalog. Hands down. Legitimate, actual, prestige films is Fade to Black. Next up, we've got Pale Blood. Somebody from Friday the 13th is in this, I think. Yeah, Darcy DeMoss. I knew it was somebody. I like this movie a lot. This is a good movie from 1990. Really good movie. So I'll keep it pretty spoiler-free, because I just don't know how many people have seen these films. But yes, Pale Blood is great. I really, really loved it. Yeah. Vampire movie. Dolly Dearest, one of my favorites from the catalog as well. This movie actually legitimately terrified me the first time I saw it. Even though I was like 18 when I saw it for the first time in like 2010 or whatever. It still mortified me for some reason. I guess because the doll is just so freaking pissed looking, you know. But there's a funny story, like, who buys a warehouse without ever seeing it and then goes over to run it, and it's an abandoned, crappy warehouse with these nasty-ass dolls in it, and the plot's a little blah, but it's got the mom from Pet Sematary in here, I think. And, excuse me. And she's a great actress, so it's like, this is actually one of those, like, cool 90s films, and it was lost on physical media for a while. I have the DVD of it. And then, like, the DVD went away, so when this was announced, it was just like, holy shit. So, yeah, this is a prestige title for them, too. In my opinion, it's a prestige title. And last but certainly least, this movie called Dark Tower. I just thought it was abysmally boring. I was really excited because of her. She's the mom from Child's Play 2 one here. And I thought it was just bad. Was this supposed to be, like, a Stephen King movie? I can't remember. But irregardless, I was not a fan. I found this very, very boring. So that's actually my Vinegar Syndrome stack. So I actually had a lot more than I thought I did. Guys, they're a great company. They make their announcements fun. They do sales all the time. And, you know, for every wonky title they put out, you know, it's going to find its audience. And then every now and again, they'll get something big. Watch. They're going to get Day of the Dead. Frickin' watch it. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Take care, and give me recommendations on Vinegar Syndrome titles I need. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.